So, hello there everyone and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for round number 6 and episode number 6 of our Williams Racing Motorsport Manager series here. And well, what a journey it's been so far. We've had plenty of ups and downs in this series. If you want to go and check that out, there'll be a link in the top right of the screen to the playlist and you can catch up on the shenanigans so far. But it has honestly, overall, been a very impressive season for us, despite having one of the worst cars on the grid. Spoiler alert, last time we had an unreal episode, I'm not going to lie to you, back in Portugal, where a one-stop strategy, I think it was, or a two-stop, I can't quite remember, I think it was it might have been a two-stop actually, with Robert Kubica, saw him finish on the podium. Third place for him. It was our second podium after the Australian Grand Prix, which saw Sergei Sirotkin do the same thing by just 0.2 of a second. Had a fourth place man, Daniel Ricciardo. He was the man chasing us down in both of those Grand Prix, but on both occasions we managed to thwart his attacks. So we go into this one in good form. Just want to say a quick thank you as well for the support on this series so far. It's been really impressive, given this is quite an old game and it's not necessarily something that is, I don't know, I didn't expect it to be massively popular, if I'm honest. It was just something that I really wanted to do. Today we've got plenty of emails and other stuff to go through. No GMA vote, we had that last time. That was about the Japanese Grand Prix. We've got an interview with Mark Webber. Kubica was beaten by Hamilton today. Would you consider bringing him in next season? If Hamilton is interested, that would be a marvellous idea, perhaps, but it's a little easy to be talking about silly season. Somehow that's managed to drop Kubica's morale, but not Sirotkin's. I don't quite understand that, but it is what it is. So, we need to move on to the pit crew, and we are looking devastated as far as mistake percentage is concerned. It's an absolute shocker. We can at least bring Hale back in for Duran, because he's got very good on his mistake percentage now. 0.4% is barely anything. We'll also bring this guy in for Carruthers. That's a straight swap, and we've not lost anything in terms of pit time. Probably could do with someone new on the front jack. This guy has got a rear jack. We could always bring him actually in on the rear jack. That might make a bit more sense, because he's 20 on that, so there you go, improvement on the pit stop once again. It's just, I mean, the two on the fixing doesn't really matter, because we don't tend to fix the car all that much, but I could always put one of them into recovery anyway. So if we maybe swap this guy's, actually I'll tell you what we can do. We can swap we can swap this guy in, Robinson here. He's got 19 on the front jack. That's a much better. And he's got a much better mistake percentage, so that pretty much solves every issue that we have. I don't know whether to leave these guys in recovery or maybe get rid of one of them. I think, to be fair, we could probably get rid of this guy because we've already got someone who's 20 on tyres in reserve. So let's get rid of this Donny. Let's fire him, Mr. Carruthers. I'm sorry, mate, but we will replace him with this Donny here at the top, who's got 20 on the front jack. So we'll hire this guy for 200k. That's all well and good, and that should now be the pit crew sorted. Might even be worth actually swapping this guy in up at the top there, and then it again improves the pit time. As far as the car is concerned, we're obviously just sort of fixing the car after the race weekend. But we have got a new front wing in the works, and we've got other things to be improving before the next Grand Prix, which is not in a week's time. Thankfully, it's 2 weeks away, so we've got some time to work on new car parts. So if we go forward, the car repair is now complete. That's all good, and we can go back on to improving some of the parts. We need to improve reliability on this new front wing that we made about 2 episodes ago, I think, and then that'll be ready for the next Grand Prix. That's all well and good. Probably don't need too much more in terms of that gearbox. I think we're okay on that one for now, and probably the same for the suspension. As far as performance is concerned, we'll keep the suspension there. We've got the rear wing that needs improving. This gearbox can be improved massively, so we'll work on performance there too. And then maybe remove that, because 756 isn't too far away from 770. Apart from that, though, I think we're probably all right. Maybe the brakes as well, and then move that. So yeah, ideally we want that front wing to be ready for the next Grand Prix, but it'll probably get to 80% if we have 21 to 9. We want to make sure this front wing is ready. We want to make sure this front wing is ready. That's the priority, and then we'll just slowly build upon these parts in terms of performance. We've got 2 more sponsor offers. Good, and finally we've actually got some that are fixed payments rather than actual bonus payments, which is what we need. We've got Ray-Ban and Epson. We'll ignore Johnny Walker because that is a bonus payment. £5 million up front and 500k per race compared to, I mean, well, this one is clearly better in both departments, and it's only 21 races as well, so not too long. We can change that early into next season. I think this is a pretty good offer, to be honest with you. 5 mil up front and then 500k per race is pretty damn decent, so we're going to go ahead and accept that. £5 million added to the balance, which now sees us on 25.3 mil. That is ridiculous, and we're going to be earning a decent amount per race now that we've got this new sponsor, which you can see is just on the rear wing there. In terms of upgrading buildings, I think we'll leave it for this episode so that I can get your feedback down in the comment section, but one thing I'm thinking to do is work on maybe upgrading our wind tunnel for £12 million, because our front wing is one of the weakest components of our car. Having said that, in terms of knowledge, maybe we'd need to work on something that would improve our engine knowledge. Where is the engine development one? Oh, that might be the new buildings, actually. That might be on the new building section. Yeah, so maybe we need a test track. So here you go. New front wing has been developed. We'll fit it just quickly to the car. It's a very good front wing as well. I mean, it's very, very unreliable at the moment, and it's also got a long way to go before it reaches its peak level of performance, but it's still a lot better than anything we have right now. It won't be ready for the next Grand Prix, but hopefully for round number 7 we will have that. I will improve the reliability of it regardless, and we'll see if we bump it to, I mean, if we put 30, we could actually get it ready. We could actually probably get it ready before the race. 91% as well. Peng. Right, brilliant. So we can take that off for now. In terms of the next episode, we've got a couple of things that are on 80% that maybe need working on, although we'll probably never use this gearbox realistically. We'll probably never use that front wing ever again. Maybe the engine needs some improvement on reliability. We'll maybe then drop that over here because that's more important, is the performance right now. So, designing a new part. This will be the final thing we do before jumping into the South African Grand Prix. I think it might be worth looking at the brakes now, to be honest with you. At this point, we've already done quite a lot of work on the aero. We've jumped up quite a lot in terms of the bar, but we're still quite low down on the grid. Anyway, as I mentioned, deceleration is probably the next thing to work on. It's the lowest of the bars, so let's go on to the brakes and see what we can do here. So, we've got build time -1 day. Nah, I'd rather have deceleration plus 20, to be honest with you. As you can see, that would move it up from 747 to 767, sorry. Reliability plus 15, I don't care about. That can be improved quite quickly. And I don't want any sort of risk level, if I'm going to be brutally honest with you. The thing is, I still don't really want any of these things here. Like, I don't want the deceleration to go down and the reliability to go up. I don't care about that, but at the same time, I don't want the reliability to go up and then the red zone to go up, because that red zone is going to be huge. So I don't really know. Obviously, that would make it a ridiculous engine, but then the risk level is quite bad. Maybe I should just go for build time -1 day. Or I suppose I could just put the reliability up by plus 15 as well. Yeah, that might work. Yeah, let's do that. So we've put the reliability up by plus 15, the performance up by plus 20, and then put the build time up by plus 10, so that the next iteration is a lot better. Alright, time to jump ahead then to South Africa. We've got Ultra Softs, Super Softs, and just the Softs for this Grand Prix. As we did last time, I think we'll go for 843 on both of the drivers. I think that worked quite well last time out. And then in terms of fitting the parts, obviously we've now got a couple of new front wings that we can add to the cars. So I think everything else is fine as it stands. Yeah, everything else is good. We haven't got anything else new that isn't the car. So it's just about allocating these new front wings. We've got this one here that is a little bit worse, but also has less in terms of reliability. So if we maybe give that one to Kubica and then give this one to Sergei Sirotkin. Alright, so here we are once again for practice, and as per usual, it'll be Kubica and Russell in the cars for the practice session this weekend. Kubica, obviously, with his 20 feedback, is going to be very, very useful in this session. We'll send them both out pretty much immediately. Doesn't really matter what trim they do, because they're going to be both coming straight back in anyway. And George Russell, the exact same. That's all well and good. Kubica's in, Russell is in. What are they both going to say about their respective setups? Kubica likes the handling and speed balance. The downforce is poor, and Russell just generally dislikes everything. Okay, let's work on this maybe a little bit more. I feel like he's going to want more in terms of downforce, if I'm going to be brutally honest with you. So we'll go for something like that, I reckon. Yeah, we'll try something like that. I think that works. And then for Russell, well, this is going to be a minefield, because I literally don't know what he wants at all, to be honest with you. I reckon he's going to want more in terms of downforce, realistically. So if we try that one, I reckon he'll want, surely he'll want more as far as understeer is concerned, I would imagine. I don't really know what to do as far, maybe something like that on the acceleration, and then something like that on the handling. Let's try that. So we've got some improvements now on the setup. Kubica is excellent on 2 of them and good on the downforce at the moment, so still needs some work as far as he's concerned, but a much better percentage, and one that I feel he can just now go out and do his actual stints on. And then for George Russell, he's still a little bit all over the place, is young George. 87% is a much better percentage, but it's still not really, I don't feel confident just sending him out for an entire stint just yet. So something like that maybe, maybe even that actually, which is out of the green zone. Let's try that instead. All right, Russell just about in the optimum setup range, I think. Just needs maybe one more tweak, although the percentage is really high, so it doesn't necessarily matter about the faces. Excellent, excellent, and excellent on George Russell now. The first time I have seen us get all 3 on that. That is pretty damn impressive. Fair play, George. You've got the optimum set up. It's 99%. So we're going to jump into it. Realistically, we are very much aiming to get both drivers out of Q1. That should be the absolute minimum at this point, I feel. So we'll wait a little while before potentially sending someone out. Or should we go straight away? Maybe it's worth going out straight away. We seem to have avoided the traffic so far, but there's a Red Bull, I think, coming down the pit lane. Let's send Sirotkin out. No, there's a Toro Rosso. Ah, here we go. Here comes the traffic. Right. Sirotkin can go out on, obviously, a new set of his Ultra Softs. So, auto on for him. That's all well and good. You go do your thing, sir, guy. That's all good. Kubica. Now, what's he saying? What's the traffic like here? I think after that Ferrari is a shout. So let's get Kubica going down the pit lane now as well. Again, he's at 1.1 seconds down already so far as the Russian. He comes across the line and goes P7. That is the worst of the drivers so far. Absolutely awful lap as well from Lewis Hamilton, interestingly, as Robert Kubica now approaches the line, and it's no better from him either. P12 only. Hamilton way down in P13. Alonso fastest. Hulkenberg P4. Ocon, Gasly and Leclerc also well up as to where you would expect them to be. Very, very odd session already this so far. Another brand spanking set of the Ultra Softs. He should get some clean air, and we'll send Sirotkin out pretty much straight behind him too. Enough of a gap between the two. Oh my god, look at that traffic. Oh, Sirotkin, no. Oh, Sirotkin, no. To be honest with you, Kubica, will Kubica get clean air? Yeah, Kubica will be fine. Well, to be fair, he's got a Mercedes ahead of him, but he should be okay, just about. Sirotkin, look at him. Oh my word. I mean, to be fair, he's only got a Haas around him, so he might be alright. Anyway, let's focus on Kubica, who's currently P17. He needs to pull something out of the bag on this lap. Like, absolutely out of the bag during the course of this lap. It needs a good preparation as well. He's got a Ferrari overtaking him. Overheated and good for Kubica. It's not very good, and it's awful for Sirotkin. These two are awful at preparing for qualifying laps. Like, absolutely tragic at preparing for qualifying laps. It's an absolute joke, but it is what it is. And he's gone white in the first sector as Kubica. At least Sirotkin has gone green. He's only 4 tenths down as well. He's gone half a second quicker than his more experienced teammate. Kubica's having a nightmare of a lap here, and he's 1.4 down. Kubica's going out. Kubica's fully going out, ladies and gents. He doesn't even improve. P17, Sirotkin can only go faster than him, and we're both out in Q1. And Fernando Alonso is somehow fastest out of that session. What in the world? Alright, so, obviously, disastrous quali session, but at least we do have a free choice of tyres. I think the only thing we can probably do is a set of softs and then 2 sets of supers if we really want to limit the amount of pit stops we're doing. But obviously, if we want to go all out and attack, then obviously we should be trying to use the Ultras. I think we'll start on the Super Softs for both drivers, just so that we can keep our options open, really, for both of them, to be honest with you. We'll also do the same, and that's a lie. We'll do the same here for Sergei Sirotkin. He can start on the Supers as well, because as it's a 42-lap race, you know, it's 18 laps on softs, and then 2 super soft stints, you could probably just about squeak out 43 or 44 laps. So for now, that might well do the trick. So I'm going to go super soft knowledge and race trim on both of them, just because I think we'll end up spending the most time on those tyres during the course of the race. And then obviously attack mode from the get-go. So we've got a lot of work to do for this Grand Prix, and we're going to have to fight back through the order. It's going to need to be an amazing fight back overall. The one thing at least is we can try and capitalise on people in the top 10 on very worn tyres, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's go. 5 lights then. The South African Grand Prix here, and we are underway. It's a solid start for Sirotkin, who goes past Grosjean and past Gasly off the start. Sorry, Kubica, not Sirotkin. Kubica up into P16, but Sirotkin jumps up the inside of him down into turn 1. Kubica is now down a position behind his less senior teammate in Sergei Sirotkin. Both moving up though through the order very nicely. Sirotkin goes past Grosjean there and is now up into P15. The Haas driver though coming back at him, and Magnussen now going through as well, in a real ding-dong battle between both Haas cars and both Toro Rossos at the moment. Sirotkin flirting between P14 and 15. He's in a battle with Grosjean. Kubica in a battle with Hartley. He comes out on top ahead of the Kiwi. And across the line, it's the fastest lap of the race somehow from Brendan Hartley. Down into turn 1. It's an absolute melee. Sirotkin, though, finds himself up into P13. Still battling, though, with Romain Grosjean. They've both gone past the Sauber of Leclerc. At the top of the timing sheets, though, Hamilton is in the lead out of Ricciardo and Alonso. Sirotkin there now loses out again to Grosjean. Can't afford to keep these guys on pushing for too long. In fact, we might even conserve just for a hot second at the start of this Grand Prix. Sirotkin making really good progress, though, right now. Up into P11, but he loses out there to Grosjean as Verstappen falls massively down through the order. Same as Ocon as well. Sirotkin, oh my god, Sirotkin's been absolutely swamped into turn 1. 4 places lost in 1 turn. This is absolute carnage at the start of this Grand Prix. I don't even know where to look right now because it's absolute carnage. Sirotkin is falling back through the order again. Kubica's in P14. We have made gains from where we started, but I mean, Sirotkin was P11 at one point and now he's down into P18, P17 again. Honestly, this is absolute carnage. Kubica is now close to the back of Verstappen, whose tyres are going off because obviously he's had to start on the ultra softs. Man in the pit lane, that's Carlos Sainz Jr. in the Renault as Kubica loses 3 places. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, great. Now I have to stay at the back of Ocon. It's because you're a nonce, mate. How have you managed to lose 3 places in 1 turn? Awful, awful stuff. We'll attack a little bit more now with these guys. But obviously we want to try and ideally make sort of lap 12 on these super soft tyres if we're going to make a really easy 2-stop work. The way the order is working, Van Dorn has just come into the pit lane. Himself and Sainz, the only people to have pitted so far in this Grand Prix. Sirotkin and Kubica are now attacking Brendan Hartley in the Toro Rosso, who's on the soft tyres, so it should be quicker. As I mentioned, we have made some strides in this one. We'll use a bit of ERS there to get away from the guys behind and maybe be in a position to attack Ocon. It looks as if it will be the case, actually. Sirotkin right on the back of the Force India driver now as they approach turn 1. Both him and Kubica are attacking the Frenchman, and Sirotkin goes round the outside. We jump up a couple of places there because Verstappen and Hülkenberg come into the pit lane. But for now, we're just looking to carry on our merry little way. Sirotkin P10. Wehrlein has got no tyre life at all. He's plummeting through the order in the Mercedes, so we overtake him. He must have a puncture, like a slow puncture or something. Kubica now goes past Wehrlein as well. Sirotkin in P9, currently fourth of the drivers on an alternate strategy. Lap 13 might well be a bit of a stretch, but with 52% tyre wear, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. Ricciardo and Alonso into the pit lane now, which promotes Sirotkin up into P6 and Kubica into P7. This race has at least sort of calmed down a little bit, and we've sort of gained a grasp of where we are, really, in this race, I think, now. We've got Perez and Grosjean ahead of us, Leclerc as well in this battle. Charles Leclerc is doing an absolutely phenomenal job right now in that Sauber. Really, really impressed by the Monegasque, keeping the likes of Grosjean and Perez behind him. Sirotkin actually is catching both of these guys right now, so very impressed with him at the moment. As Hamilton comes into the pit lane, Vettel comes into the pit lane, which promotes Charles Leclerc into the lead of the race. Fair play, Chief. Fair play, doing a really, really good job. Grosjean P2, Perez P3. At the moment, Sirotkin and Kubica are in fact catching the Force India driver. And right now, it's looking like a major disadvantage for those that started in the top 10. Those Ultrasofts didn't last and didn't really do all that much. The likes of Ricciardo way down in P10, Hamilton P11, any sort of safety car right now, and we'd be in a really good position actually. I'm going to use overtake mode for Kubica just to keep him ahead now of Ocon, but he hasn't done, he's lost out to Ocon anyway. Brilliant, okay. Not exactly what we needed, to be honest with you. And I have to push with both of these guys because the tyre temps are really, really poor right now. It's been the problem with this car throughout the entirety of the season. It just cannot keep any sort of temperature within its tyres, and it just means that we're having to push through stints, and it just harms the tyre wear massively as we go along. I think it's going to be one more lap maximum, really, after this one, so I think it'll have to be lap 12 that we come in. Sirotkin there overtaken by Ocon with the ERS, but Sirotkin's now going to come back at the Frenchman. Kubica as well does the same. Through he goes, but I've just realised, oh my god, I'm going to have to double stack here. We'll pit Sirotkin now onto a set of the softs. Recharge battery, yeah, that's fine. Pit strategy will go on to balanced for him because fast is very risky at this point. So Sirotkin is going to come in, he's going to push into the pit lane. Kubica, well, we've shafted him a little bit if I'm honest, but I mean, although having said that, he's one odd second, but to be honest, pit stops are like 1.6 seconds on this game. Let's pit Kubica as well, Bunny. We could probably get away with a double stack, just about. He'll probably lose like a second, but it's better than him staying out and losing probably 3 seconds on a horrendous in-lap. So let's do that. Bring it onto backup and engine mode as they both come into the pit lane, and it'll have to be a double stack. Sirotkin in. It needs to be a perfect pit stop though, really. This is the issue, and it is. We do have to hold Kubica, unfortunately, but I think he's lost less time than he probably would have done by staying out, if I'm going to be brutally honest with you. So Sirotkin comes out of the pit lane. He's just next to Pascal Wehrlein, but he did at least manage to jump Charles Leclerc there in the pit lane. Kubica, unfortunately, has fully lost out to Ocon, but hopefully these guys can now can make it work, even though Kubica had to be double stacked. In fact, Kubica's now overtaken Ocon. That's very impressive. Good stuff there. Ocon's trying to hold on, but it looks as if for now Kubica has got the job done. Next up for him is Alonso on slightly worn Super Softs. And the shake-up has led to Sirotkin in P12 right now and Kubica in P15, but there's still a couple of people left to pit. We need to see Magnussen, Hartley, Perez, Grosjean and Ericsson all come into the pit lane. So by the time the shake-up has happened, Sirotkin should be up in the points. Perez goes onto the Super Softs and through goes Sirotkin there. Yep, the Force India is ahead though of Kubica, which is a bit of a shame. Kubica, we will just take a little look at. Here he is in P15. Ahead of him is Perez. And then Alonso. Perez goes past the Spaniard in the McLaren. Kubica, though, running relatively well, I guess, up in P15. Sirotkin, though, was lost out to Charles Leclerc in the Sauber, which is a bit of a shame. The overall pace of this car is just relatively poor. We'll try and go on attack mode just for a little bit to see if we can get back at Charles Leclerc and use a little bit of ERS to try and make that overtake work. There we go. That should see us back ahead now as we move up into P10. Hartley and Wehrlein in the pit lane there. Sirotkin moves back ahead now. Charles Leclerc, he's up into P9. Good stuff from him. Liking that. Dropping back down onto neutral so that he's pushing just a little bit less on the tyres. Kubica, for now, is okay on his engine mode. He is quite high on his delta, but I think he'll just about survive. Sirotkin still going at the moment as Grosjean comes into the pit lane. I imagine Magnussen and Ericsson will be coming in shortly as well. Will Sirotkin jump Grosjean? He'll definitely jump Ericsson, and he does just about jump Grosjean as well. So Sirotkin now up into P7. Good stuff from him. We'll use a little bit of ERS for Kubica to try and get him past Brendan Hartley, who's just come out of the pit lane. Grosjean, though, blasts back ahead of Sirotkin with his ERS. So at the moment, Magnussen needs to pit, but apart from that, Sirotkin's looking in a net P7 at the moment, which is pretty damn impressive as things stand. Here's how things are looking, though, for Robert Kubica. At the moment, he's got Brendan Hartley just ahead of him in the Toro Rosso. Might try and just push just a little bit with him. See if he can get past the Kiwi in the Toro Rosso, and then he's got Ocon right ahead of him as well. He's in a bit of a gaggle, really, so if he can dispatch a couple of cars quite quickly, he might be on the periphery of the points as well. He's going alongside Brendan Hartley. into the hairpin. The Toro Rosso stays just about ahead of Robert Kubica. Very frustrating for the pole. Down the inside, though, into this next hairpin. Is he going to make it stick? They're alongside each other. Kubica needs to make it stick. Coming towards the start-finish line and the home straight. He has managed to get the job done. Next up for him now is Esteban Ocon. Good stuff. Sirotkin now is up into P6. Maybe try and get that position back off Leclerc with the ERS down this straight. And indeed we do, as Vettel comes into the pit lane again. Looking very decent in this Grand Prix at the moment. And Sirotkin now goes right around the outside of Romain Grosjean and up into P4. Laps Carlos Sainz Jr. at the same time. This is looking very impressive indeed. I'm just trying to work out realistically where we need to get to on these soft tyres. I mean, ideally we want to get to lap 30 if we're to then stick another set of super softs on. I don't think that is going to happen. We've got 22 laps to go, and if we're going to go on to super softs, we need to have 13 laps to go. And as things stand, obviously, as you can see, 57% tyre wear, that isn't particularly looking all that possible, to be honest with you. So we might have to stick another set of the softs on after this, which isn't the end of the world, but I would imagine certainly the likes of Grosjean will be on quicker tyres at the end. Perez will probably be on softs. Leclerc will probably be on softs as well, but Grosjean certainly will be on the quicker tyres, and we'll have to wait and see about everyone else, because Raikkonen's down in P13, Vettel's P15, and Wehrlein is P16 at the moment, so it's not looking good for some of the front runners at the moment, as all of the front three come into the pit lane once again, and that promotes Sirotkin up into the lead. Goodness me, wow, this is an intriguing race. Ricciardo's got into the lead, he's past Sirotkin. We're not really racing him, to be honest with you, so I don't particularly care all that much about that. Might have to push a little bit actually now with Sirotkin just to get those tyre temps back up, just for a lap or so. It's just so difficult because then pushing obviously takes life out of the tyres anyway, so you're stuck in between a rock and a hard place, really. I think we already pretty much know we're going to have to go on to another set of the softs, but it doesn't particularly even feel like we've been on these softs for that long. This is the problem that I'm encountering. It doesn't feel like we've been on these softs for very long either. So I'm a bit concerned that they won't then go long enough in the final stint either. That's the issue. We've got those tyre temps up to a relatively decent point. Same for Kubica. You can see by the minimap, look at that, P1 to P15 is literally covered by 16 seconds. That is absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. We've been chasing Sirotkin for a while, so let's move over to Kubica. He looks moderately comfortable in P8, but he's got Verstappen on fresh softs right behind him. So let's use a bit of the ERS to get away from Verstappen and defend ourselves against the Dutchman, and maybe try and close in as well on the Force India of Ocon ahead of us. I'm actually not sure we'd go to the end on another set of the softs, because they've just died. They're meant to do these are meant to do 18 to 20 laps. 18 to 20, fam. And we've been on them 13, barely pushing all stint, and we're on 27%. I don't know whether to just bite the bullet and go on to another set of supers and then maybe ultras at the end. I don't know. No, I don't think we could do softs. I don't think we could do a soft stint. So I think we might as well bite the bullet, because I think the only person who's going to be able to go to the end without only pitting one more time out of the people that we're actually battling is Grosjean. That's it. Nobody else is going to the end. So is doing one more stop. I think everyone else is going to have to do 2 stops. So Sirotkin's going to come in. He's going to go on to a fresh set of the super softs. Part condition, I mean, the front wing isn't looking all that grand, but we'll get over it. Balanced pit stop once again. Sirotkin can come in. We can actually afford to double stack once again, so Kubica can come in as well. Should we do the same thing with him? Or should we try going alternate and going on to ultra softs for him? Because I think that's how it's going to work. I think we'll go supers and then ultras to the end. Or should we just try and swap it round maybe with him? Just because he might dip into some free air. He'll drop into P14. Yeah, he'll get quite a bit of free air. So let's put him onto ultra softs, and then he can actually try and just put in some really banging lap times and get a really good undercut even. So Sirotkin's coming in. We'll push into the pit lane with Kubica, but it doesn't really make much of a difference. So Sirotkin's in. He's going to go on to supers now. And Kubica is in as well. Good pit stop there for Sergei Sirotkin. Really good pit stop. We get a good one for Kubica. Yes, we do. Good stuff. Right, okay, so this is all well and good. Sirotkin will now go until probably about lap 35. Like, to be fair, he probably actually could have done 2 ultra stints. I think we could actually do 2 ultra stints now till the end of the race. It's just weird that those softs only lasted 13 laps. Or to be fair, what did it? Yeah, 15. Yeah, maybe we could have done. Maybe we could have actually done another set of softs. I don't know. It is what it is. We'll just go aggressive. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe we should have just gone softs. But they, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we should have gone softs, actually, thinking about it. We definitely should have tried it with one of them, for sure. But, well, we'll just have to push with both of these guys now. Attack literally till the end of the race, and then do a madness from there, basically. Just do a madness from there. So, Sirotkin at the moment, he obviously, now, you know, we can't be stupid with him. He obviously needs to go to, you know, preferably maybe lap 35, and then he can stick another set of the ultras on. So I've dropped them both into neutral for now. 12 laps of the race to go. Sirotkin's catching Magnussen very, very quickly. He's catching him by about 2 seconds a lap at the moment. So hopefully on this lap he'll be able to jump ahead of Magnussen. We'll use some ERS to try and properly close up to the back of the Dane and also Ericsson as well. So it's now really up to Sirotkin and Kubica to just do the job and to just do the overtaking, really. That's what they've got to do. They've got to make sure they do the overtakes now, and this is going to be the issue. I think generally speaking, we should have put them on the softs, to be honest. I can't lie, we should have put them on the softs, but I don't know. When I checked it, we were on 26% on like 13 laps. We somehow managed to do another 2 laps without me necessarily even realising, so maybe we could have actually done it just on conserve the entire time. I don't know. It is what it is. Sirotkin, though, is ahead of Magnussen. We've got a mechanical issue there for Ericsson, but he's coming into the pit lane anyway, so he'll be dispatched. So realistically, we're going to want to bring Kubica into the pit lane now. How many laps has he done on these ultras? He's done 6. That's fine, so he can come in now. We'll push him into the pit lane. We'll bring him in for another set of the ultras. That's all good. In hindsight, as I said earlier, we should have just gone on to the softs and just gone to the end, but life isn't as simple as that. At the time, it was looking like we were definitely going to have to do two more stops before the end of the race because the softs had just been churned through so quickly. It just didn't seem viable to be able to do another set on them, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Kubica's in. He's P11 at the moment. He drops down another couple of places. He's P14, so he's going to have to push now, really, till the end of the Grand Prix to try and attack the 4 guys ahead of him. He's got 10 seconds till he's back up in the points, in fairness. So, I mean, Alonso's going to have to pit again, fine, but Leclerc, Raikkonen, Ericsson, they're probably all going to the end. He's gone past Hartley, though, which is nice. As far as Sirotkin is concerned, I mean, at least for him, he was about 10 seconds up the road from Kubica anyway, so we should be fine on him. He's got 37% tyre wear, so obviously he can't go to the end. We know that now. It might be worth even bringing him in quite soon, because I think we could probably get him in that gap between Ericsson and Raikkonen at least, if possible. So we're going to bring him in now, I think, and go on to a set of ultras till the end of the Grand Prix. Once again, would have been probably best going on to the softs instead. But it is, again, I keep saying it, it is what it is. I'm just going to blame any mistakes I make on strategy. Well, in fact, I'm not feeling 100% today. I'm feeling very ill. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's fine. It's okay. It's alright. We're going to pull through the illness and we're going to get some points on the board. Sirotkin's in. He drops from P4 to P5. He's going to drop there behind Vettel. He's going to drop behind Raikkonen. But hopefully he'll come out here ahead of Ericsson. No, he doesn't. Oh, God. Right, it looks like 1 point is the maximum we're going to achieve here. Ericsson's got a car part issue, so he'll probably drop back very quickly. Sirotkin uses the ERS, and he goes past the Swede very comfortably. Right, good-o. So now it's time for Sirotkin to just try and push on and try and attack the likes of Raikkonen and Leclerc ahead of him. 5 laps to go to try and catch them. They are going to be on dead tyres. Kubica's also arriving on the scene. He's only got 64% tyre wear, actually, so we need to drop that down. In fact, we'll go on to backup just for a hot second, just so that he can cool those tyre temps down. It would be an absolute travesty if he didn't even make it to the end of the Grand Prix, having done the strategy that we're on. That would, in fact, be literally a cataclysmic if he didn't manage that. Sirotkin, though, is in the points. He's P10 right now, so he's doing bits. He's looking alright pace-wise as well. He's trying to catch Raikkonen at the moment. and we'll see where we can go beyond that. It's Verstappen and Leclerc up the road beyond them, so we'll have to wait and see as to what else he can do beyond Raikkonen, but he should still be able to catch the Iceman, to be honest with you, by the end of the Grand Prix. We'll drop it down onto neutral just because he's very high on his tyre temps right now. I think as far as Kubica is concerned, P11 is probably the highest he can hope for right now. Drop him onto neutral. He should be okay now to go 4 laps on those ultras with 52% tyre wear. Sirotkin will be all good to push pretty much till the end. But obviously just got to make sure we keep an eye on those tyre temps. He's right there on the back of Raikkonen. So use a little bit of overtake mode and see if we can get past the Iceman in the works Ferrari. P9 is what is on the line at the moment. A couple of points in the offing. If Sirotkin can get the job done, if he can get it done quickly, he might be able to attack Leclerc further up the road. But Raikkonen uses ERS to get away from the Russian. Oh, this isn't helpful at all. This really isn't helpful. Going to drop him onto low there because he's running out of fuel. Raikkonen, though, is coming into the pit lane. Surprisingly, very surprisingly, Raikkonen's going to make a late pit stop. Very late pit stop. Okay, maybe it wasn't a bad idea doing this strategy if some of the guys ahead of us are doing pit stops with 2 laps to go. So Raikkonen's going to come in, and that's going to promote Kubica up into the points as well because he's overtaken Ericsson, who also pitted. Sirotkin is now P9. Good stuff for him. Very nicely done. We'll conserve with Kubica because he's got 4 seconds back to Magnussen, so he can afford to do so. In fact, we can probably go on backup really and just make sure that he gets P10 by the end. Now, though, for Sirotkin, I'm going to try and push him on the tyres. We'll attack on the tyres, but we've got to stay on low, really, for the fuel because he's over at the moment. And then maybe we can attack on the final lap, which we're now about to jump onto. Use a bit of the ERS and see if we can catch up to the Monegasque. Charles Leclerc, tyre wear-wise, he's got pretty much nothing left, has Leclerc. This might well be the opportunity. Sergei, mate, come on. We need you to do bits here. We need you to push on the final lap of the race to try and get past the Alfa Romeo Sauber. It's the final lap. He's right on the back of Leclerc. Come on, son. 2 more points on offer if you can get past him. Use just a final quick squirt of ERS. Oh, Leclerc's got some as well. Oh, such a shame. Doesn't look as if we're going to be able to overtake the man from Monaco. We've run out of fuel just slightly here at the end as well, although we do go back positive again at the end. Sirotkin comes across the line for P9. Kubica takes P10. I mean, it's a double point score for probably the first time in this series, actually. So when you look at it on the face of it, after a horrendous qualifying session, it wasn't all that bad. It wasn't exactly a tragedy. Ricciardo was the man who won the race, though, in the Red Bull. You'll see the rest of the race results in a moment. But P9 and P10 for Sergei Sirotkin and Robert Kubica isn't all that bad. From 17th and 18th on the grid, I think we've done a decent enough job there of, a relatively decent comeback for both of them, I feel, in the end. Ricciardo was your winner, Hamilton second, Romain Grosjean up in P3, just again showing what we could have done if we'd made that strategy work. If we could have done that 2-stop of super softs onto 2 sets of softs, then obviously we could have actually ended up on the podium once again, but the tyre wear on this car just does not, unfortunately, allow for it. Vettel 4th, Ocon 5th, Verstappen 6th, then Perez, Leclerc, Sirotkin and Kubica. To be fair, if Sirotkin had come on to another set of ultras like his teammate did, he might have actually had the pace to get past Leclerc at the end. Unfortunately, it is only P9 and P10, but still a massive improvement in comparison to where we were in qualifying. So here's how it leaves the championship standings. Kubica jumps up now into P8 ahead of Kevin Magnussen, so still very much a positive race weekend, for us. Valtteri Bottas is now the next man to overtake, but obviously he's not in Formula 1 anymore as far as this season is concerned. Sirotkin remains P10 after grabbing 2 points there. He's just ahead of Pascal Wehrlein and Fernando Alonso. Worth noting, Kimi Raikkonen's having an absolute shocker of a season. P15 only in the Ferrari, along with Carlos Sainz and Nico Hülkenberg, who are equally having pretty poor seasons for Renault. In the Teams Championship, we are P5. Force India stretching away from us massively after another solid points haul for Ocon and for Perez. We've now got a 6-point gap over Haas, who did very well with Romain Grosjean getting a podium there. But still P5 for us is very impressive. So there you have it. Another point scoring result for Williams Martini Racing in round number 6 of this season. Much more difficult encounter. The track really didn't suit our horrendous aero on this Williams car. Next time out, we are in Canada for round number 7. Hope you guys have enjoyed that episode. If you have, feel free to slap a like on the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Apologies if I wasn't my usual self. I don't know if I was that chirpy in that episode. I'm a bit ill at the moment, but it's all calm. Hopefully it was still a decent commentary and it was still a video that you enjoyed. As I mentioned, next time we'll be in Canada, and hopefully I'll see you all then. It's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
I want you, you want me, I know that. Oh shit, fuck all these movies with tenderness, left it with too much emotion. Oh shit. She said love is a poison, so use it with caution. Oh shit, fuck all these movies with tenderness, left it with too much emotion. I ain't fucking with these love songs, never, never.